Next up, we have Heretic of the False Moon, the Il Dottore boss theme Phase 2 from the Genshin Impact soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream. Members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. Alright, so we did do phase 1 in a previous video, so this is a continuation. We happened to do this on the same day, so let's see where this goes. Phase 2, Heretic of the False Moon, let's go. Okay, so we start, so in the previous episode, we ended with a very dissonant kind of resolution, kind of not, kind of left everything up in the air, and now we are starting with a very strong hit. We start with a run in the flute. A run is just when you play notes really fast. These can also be called grace notes, the ones that the flute just did. Basically just that really fast scale we did at the start. Hit of the percussion. We are doing this this whole thing. We have the chorus again singing a melody which contains what I believe could be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from. Let's see where this goes. So yes, we do have the ensemble, we do have the orchestra, so I'm gonna open the... I love that for Genshin, we almost every time bring the orchestra for this. Alright, so we have an orchestra, and I think one of the doublings is gonna be the pipe organ. The pipe organ, of course, being one of the most incredible instruments to ever exist. Absolute marvels of engineering and music. These instruments are massive, and the psychological response of it is just... Let's just see where this goes, right? Because we had a brief moment of that bass kind of like taking everything out. Let's see where this goes. Wait, there was a moon last time? It's just the same moon being pulled down. Okay, so there's lore to this as well. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Okay, so we have right now the vocals, we have the chorus here giving us a very nice, steady paced chant going on. But the important bit right now is the violins. In the first track, we had a rhythmic section in the secondary, or what I call the secondary motif, which was very rhythmic. And it had this kind of acceleration thing. The violins right now are playing a variation of that. This is what I was talking about when I talked about movements. So in classical music and orchestra and a lot of stuff, a lot of the pieces are done in what is called sonata form. Which means that you are doing each thing in movements. Each movement is like an act for the piece, and these are going to be 3 variations of the same piece. Usually it's 3 movements that you have for most pieces. First movement, the introductory movement. Second movement would usually be like a slower or a march movement, like in marching. And the third movement would be the grand climax. So right now, we are having a more march-like rhythm in the violins. Let's see where this goes. Oh, and we have the drums doubling the violins. Doubling is when they have more than one instrument playing the same thing. There's the flutes. Trumpets coming in. Doing another melody. Channel for Hype Prince. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. So yeah, we're building up. There we go. We switch it up. We bring now a couple of synths. One of them is arpeggiating some chords. So arpeggio, of course, when you play a chord one note at a time, right? So here's, for example, C minor. Here is arpeggiated. So we're having this happening. We're having a second synth now bringing a variation of some of the melodies we've seen before, and let's see where this goes. Random Human, welcome today. How you doing? Very lovely melody. I think it's a variation from the earlier ones. Violins holding the chords. This is Bribe Q, Random Human. So yeah. Developing that melody slowly. So yeah, right now the drums are being reserved mostly for the bass drum, and I like this. The bass drum is slowly speeding up, but still with the rhythm of the melody. So it's very subtle. The speeding up is very, very subtle. This is beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Ah, there's the violin. Bringing us... This melody sounds familiar. Oh, the Notcry main themes motif. Okay, so yeah, I was like, this melody sounds familiar. So, it seems we are now engaging in a Leitmotif. So, let's see. Leitmotif is a motif that is reused in a different piece of music for the purposes of referring back to the original source material. This was a term, of course, coined by Richard Wagner. This one he made during his Ring cycle of operas, because it's 4 operas. It's like a quadrilogy, I guess. It's a trilogy when it's 3 movies. What do you call it? A 4? Because it's a quadrilogy. And that means there's a lot of music, because each of them is like 3 to 4 hours long. That's 12 to 16 hours of music. So he wanted to economize a little bit, and he decided to come up with the idea of the Leitmotif. And the way it works in that one, this one is a very like Norse mythology oriented set of stories, and a tetralogy. I don't like the sound of that. So yeah. For example, in the first one, right, like the Das Rheingold, we have the Leitmotif of Valhalla, because, Norse mythology kind of thing. And every time Valhalla is shown, mentioned, or in any way referred to in the material in any way, you will hear the Wagner tubas playing their theme. And that's where we get the idea of the Leitmotif. Every Leitmotif is a motif. Not every motif is a Leitmotif. A motif becomes a Leitmotif when it is used in a new piece of music or a separate piece of music in order to refer back to the original. And right now, we are getting the Nod, Cry, and Columbina Leitmotif. So this one is used in a different piece, which is a tricky thing to do, to use a Leitmotif, because the motif of your piece that you are using is very, very much going to be jealous. Your motif is going to be temperamental and very jealous, which means you need to constantly give it attention, you need to constantly give it the spotlight, or you risk breaking your music, as in it's going to start sounding disjointed, it's going to start sounding incoherent. It's going to stop sounding like a single piece of music that is developing and breathing, and it's going to sound more like a series of musical ideas with no connection whatsoever to one another. And that is something that you definitely want to avoid. So, yeah, we're having this one. In this case, what we are doing is a mashup or mix, a badly done one. And right now, how are we getting away with the Leitmotif over here? We're using it as a solo. We're bringing it as a violin solo. When you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much of the same thing, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is one universal exception, which is solos. No matter the style, no matter the genre, you bring in a solo, as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with pretty much anything. And in this case, we have a solo coming in. And welcome, Ballad. Welcome to Hayden. So let's see where this goes, right? The gambling of the OSTs, considering game has a lot of gambling built in it. Yeah. There we go. We're bringing back the motif of this piece with this violins, chorus. Oh, and we do a very quick tutti. Tutti means everybody. We have everybody engaging in this part over here. It sounded really cool. I do see the criticism that I saw earlier from this one. This one does not feel like it is related to phase 1. This one is, it feels like its own separate piece of music. And Genshin may be gacha, but it's a very high quality one. It's irrelevant. The quality of the game is irrelevant. What matters is that they have the money to put into music. Into good music. And they've invested heavily on their music. But yes, by itself, this is pretty good. It feels very detached from the first piece. This can work, especially in the game, especially if there's a stark contrast in what is happening. But if you're talking about movements in a piece of music, this is undesirable. However, that's not the format we're using, so the piece by itself is pretty good. Let's see where it goes. Violins arpeggiating. We bring back the trumpets. Okay, that was a bit more akin. And I think the big disconnect that we are having is the ensemble. Usually, when it comes to an orchestral set of movements, you want to keep your ensemble consistent. Because form-wise, we are still using the chorus, we're still using all of this stuff, but in the first movement, in the first phase, we used a Eastern exotic instrument ensemble that would clash with the orchestra. And now we are using a Western solo ensemble with synths to clash with the orchestra. While the clash between the two worlds is, between the two is still there, the change in the ensemble and not having familiar sounds is very much going to be noticed. There's also story limited. Only phase 1 is replayable as a weekly boss. Oh, that's even worse. So that means some of these are disposable music. Okay. Let's see. Me personally, I wouldn't fight a guy that is very addicted to dropping the moon on Earth and has the power to it. Just saying. Nah, that sounds fun. Let's see where this goes. So yeah, we have the choral arrangement again. A little bit more advanced this time. A bit more complex than last time. There we go. Now we're starting to mirror a little bit what we did in the first movement. Modulation, picking up the rhythm. Very lovely choral arrangement. Solo vocalist. There we go. We finally bring that Eastern element back to the ensemble. Finally, we're getting a connective thread, a thread between the two. We bring back the pipe organ now in the background. It's very interesting that the pipe organ is so quiet, but we'll let that slide. Let's see. Does this now turn into a song? No. No. In order for this to be a song needs to have vocals and lyrics, but the vocals and lyrics need to be the driving force for a substantial part of the music. And so far, when it comes to a chorus, a chorale, a choir, that one is usually used as an instrument. Very rarely is a choir used as vocals. It's usually used as a doubling for something else. So it's very, very rare for that. In this case, I wouldn't say this is a song yet. No. Let's see where it goes. There we go. We finally have the Eastern instruments again. But again, as I said, at this point, little too late. And this is a theme that we saw in the first piece as well. A lot of this is dragging. And this is very rare for Genshin Impact, that the music is just dragging. The music is taking a little too much time to develop and to make things happen. And a vocalist has to also stand out, kind of like a solo, and it has to be the driving force. And I would say in this case, that's what it finally clicked over here. Each individual part of these bits has been good. The problem is that the build-up has been taking a little too long for these. The build-up for the connective material in movement 2 has taken 2.5 minutes to reach it. In the first one, the build-up to the climax took 2.5 minutes too much. There's a common theme over here, and it's not a good one. the quality is still good, but there is a difference between a piece of music that breathes up and down and that the structure seems to be good versus a piece of music that is dragging a little too much, and then it drags a little too much, and it starts feeling inconsistent. So you want to keep things, you want to make your music breathe properly. So how long you build up can affect your enjoyment is subjective to an extent, but the more you delay the build-up and the resolution and making things happen, the more likely it is for the listener to notice it. And I think that would be one of the criticisms I'm having of this work as a whole. It's not that the individual parts are bad, it's that it's taking too long for the thing to happen. And it's increasing the risk of sounding like it's taking too long. So yeah, let's see where this goes, because now we have this part over here. For example, is Miguel available builds up too long? Yeah. To be fair, while facing the boss, you don't really have time to hear it dragging, and that, I would say, is a bad excuse. Especially considering the quality that we've seen from Genshin Impact in the past. That, I think, is bad cope. Yes, in these ones, because at this point, this is still good. This is still good. Like, I'm saying this is like 7 out of 10 good. We are used to 9 and 10 out of 10 good when it comes to Genshin. And Nighty, welcome back. How you doing? Tension is most important? No. When you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You're building tension or you're resolving that tension. Point in between is cadence. All of these three are the most important. You need a careful balance between all of these. Again, you want to make your music breathe. You need the music to breathe in. Saying tension is the most important would be like saying inhaling is more important than exhaling. That is not true now, is it? That simply is not something that would make much of a difference. Breathing in is not more important than breathing out. Both of them play their role. Now, breathing in is how your body gets oxygen, but breathing out is how you expel the carbon dioxide. So both of these play a crucial role, and prioritizing one over the other is breaking that balance. Anyway, so let's see where this goes, because this is very good. Like, this is very good music. This is not as good as I've come to expect from Genshin. Which, again, we are going from getting 8, 9, 10 out of 10s, 11 out of 10s in some cases, to a 7 out of 10. This is still well above average. It's just not something I would expect from Genshin. Let's see where this goes. Alright, there we go. We're building in. And by the way, everybody who is in the chat right now, if you're watching this on the live stream, can everybody just coming and say hi or anything on the chat? I just want to annoy Frenzy over here. Anyway, so, next week, maybe Nightable. So, we're bringing in this kind of thing. We're slowly building up. Let's see where this goes. Oh, there we go. We get an EDM drop. Okay, so we bring in an EDM drop. I love that everybody actually showed up when I said we would just do it to annoy somebody. Nice. All right, so we bring in a complete 180. We are deviating very, very far away from the from the rest of the ensemble, and this feels very disconnected. We are bringing a very different melody. We're bringing a very different everything. Very, very disconnected from everything. I'm having trouble reconciling this. And yes, Gull Golden, we do have people that know how to do it too. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. Okay, there we go. Now we connect. We're bringing back the other rhythm. And now we're bringing, okay, so we now have the electronic elements, which we just had like a kind of a drop there. We are doing some arpeggios. We have the piano doing its thing, but the violins and the choir are doing another variation of that secondary motif that we had in the initial piece. So not as good as this is nowhere near as good as most of the other pieces we've heard from Genshin in this channel. Again, it's not that big an indictment of this one. Eventually we would run into this. And I think right now what this piece is missing is oomph. Each one of these parts has been good build-up. We are having good build-up after good build-up after good build-up after good build-up. But there's no release. There's no climax. Like the climactic part of the previous track came a little too late. Right now, I'm still waiting for that climax, for that hell yeah moment. Let's see where this goes. Let's see if we actually get it. See, this is beautiful. There we go. We go over. Very beautiful. There's not enough bass. There's not enough bass. That's what it is. This doesn't have enough bass. All of the other pieces have had a very good, well balance with a solid amount of bass. We have, like, you know, we bring the tubas, we bring the double basses, we bring the cellos, we have the electronic basses, we have the electric basses, we have all sort of things to balance things out. In this case, everything has been very much in the middles and in the trebles, very much middle and high. It feels a little too floaty for the amount of time that we are doing. And there's not enough grounding. There's not enough grounding to this. So this feels very unbalanced because of that. The bass is there, it's just very weak. Yeah, that's what it is. That's why this feels so weird. Because one of the things about bass is that bass is something that, yes, you can hear, but most importantly, you feel. Like, the bass is something that you just feel in the... So, yeah, let's see where this goes. Could be it's not an official upload? Maybe. But I'm not hearing enough instruments in the bass either. So there we go. We have the... Now we have bass. So here's the bass. So yeah, now we bring in the bass, we bring in the solo back, we bring the Leitmotif back, we had a bit of moment of rhythmic displacement there, really cool, we pushed back, and we have a stronger one, and we have bass now. But it doesn't feel like enough. Like at this point, it feels too little too late kind of thing. However, it's still good. It's still decent quality. I just think that the balance in these two pieces has been a little off. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where it goes. Because in the first one, the bass was there. Now it's not. Yeah. Beautiful chorale. We go for those high notes. And now we bring it back. There we go. We have the orchestral part doing its thing. So yeah, this part is actually pretty cool. I think that the YouTube upload might have taken a little bit out of the thing. And why did you turn down my volume, YouTube? Okay, so a good chunk of this was also because YouTube turned down my volume to half. Anyway, so now we bring in the full orchestra. There's the trumpets. Now we have everybody. We bring it in, one more low note. And there we go. It ends with this, but for a good chunk of this was missing. This was missing for a good chunk of this. And there you go. There you have it. No fade out. It still ended. It was still pretty good, but I would say the pace felt like it dragged a little too long to build up for this kind of stuff. But overall, I would say it's still pretty decent. Again, like I would say, like if we were to rate the other ones, like we're used to seeing Genshin being like 8, 9, 10 out of 10s, and this one, solid 7, I would say. So not bad, not as great as what we're used to, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. Not supposed to loop, so it makes sense. Yep, it was still pretty good. And there you have it. That was Heretic of the False Moon, Il Dottore, theme phase 2 from the Genshin Impact soundtrack. Which one do you like more? Phase 1? Phase 1. I like more phase 1. Phase 1 felt a lot more menacing. This one didn't feel like a boss. Didn't feel like something you would see in a boss. Like, it just didn't feel boss. It didn't have that boss vibe to it. It felt cool. It felt fighting, but it didn't feel boss fight. Like, you want your boss fight to have menace to it. The first one had menace. This one, not so much. And I think that's the element that this one was missing the most. It didn't have that menacing aspect to it. It was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful piece. But it didn't have that menace to it. And there you have tutorial boss. Which kind of tutorial boss? You look at, I mean, I use Dark Souls as a standard because, yeah. Anyway, there you have it. It was still good. It was still good. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up in the channels, updates, projects. Everything gets announced there first. Of course, that's where we also have the community, where we chat, where we steal memes from other people's servers, we hang out, and of course where I host the Vintage Story game server. It used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. I prefer it over Minecraft. I love it. So yeah, linked in the description. Join the community today, join the Discord, linked in the description. And again, yeah, sometimes I blank out. I don't have a script for these things, okay? So yes, also share these videos with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. Yes. So yeah, use the hype function on YouTube. Brained. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that. So linked in the description. Another reason to join the Discord. Yes. Musicians, artists on YouTube or elsewhere. This is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the little hoo kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out, let me know. Let's make stuff, let's work together, let's make stuff, right? And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that could benefit from any of my skills, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone, please don't spam anyone. Be cool about things, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. That's around 1 week in advance, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions of what to do. If you are on the live stream, go ahead and request the songs for the final round of the day. You can start requesting. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Another reason to join the Discord. So if you live in La Negra and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen, recorded live during the main channel's after show. Then the recordings go here, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. To just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Il Dottore, Heretic of the False Moon, Phase 2. It was alright. That was alright. That was still pretty good. That was still pretty good. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.